It's the day. Today's the day we make a video for YouTube. So, this is what our board looks like right now. What I want to do is try to get everybody, like a couple of these people, upgraded. So we're going to do just a couple of, I guess, we've got, the plan is reset Jun, reset, Betrayal, do enough. I've got Haywick Hamlet. I've got these Watchstones, which is just going to make it quicker. It's not going to change the outcome. It's just it means that they're more likely to be accompanied by reinforcements. So that means it's just going to take fewer encounters for us to get there. Having said that, I have 114 yellow missions for Jun, and we've got many hundreds of atolls, tier 7s. So I think we're going to be good. I think we're definitely got enough for us to do this with. Right now I'm just selling the product of all the previous Jun missions. So obviously there's lots of, you can make a lot of exalts with Jun missions. There's 4 for us right now. And that's mainly because of all the scarabs you can drop. So I've got, 27 Gilded Divination Scarabs. There's quite a lot. We're going to switch it out. So I've put down in the bottom right of the screen. I think it's that way. Or that way. I'll edit it whichever way that works. Hold on a second. Is it over here? No, over here. Over here. So over here, we have 2 goals. One of them is getting It That Fled and Vorici into research, and we want to get Hillock and Gravicious into intervention.
Salah.
And that's because we can run intervention. Whoever's here is normally here. Real quick. And we can run research real quick, because these 2 always turn up. These 2, research and intervention encounters are always in every Jun mission, unless there's a safehouse triggered. So we know every map we're going to get one of these 2. Oh, both of these. And then one of these 2, we either get transport or fortification missions. So that's what we want to get. That's what I've put down on the side over here. It That Fled and Vorici, and then Hillock and Gravicious. And that's what we're going to try and do. So maybe we could get some... we could probably just run it now, actually.
Hello.
Let's just run it now. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing now. Oh, okay. Oh, we're done.
Stop. I can
So we've got to execute her, I guess. So now, when we go and talk to Jun, show investigation, it's all question marks. It's a mystery. So, and we've already got 90% about safehouse location. Huh, that's interesting. So you keep the amount of intelligence you had from the previous one. I didn't realize that. That's good to know. Okay, so first one. We've got Vajan.
I may have a reputation for loquaciousness, but I'm a keen listener too.
Now this is quite fortunate because we've got the safehouse.
I might be convinced to
Our first priority.
hobbies of mine into a tight little info package.
Yeah, our first priority here is revealing the question marks, because we have our goals and we want to know who is who. And we also need to get this to 100% and then never run it. And we've got 90% here, so we're just going to bargain straight away. So we're pretty close to unveiling one of these question marks.
Now listen up.
Which is going to be very, very useful for it. So we're just going to keep going. We'll get the, here's the intervention one. So that's Guff, Riker.
I'm afraid the only option.
So obviously we need to find out who these people are.
Execution.
So what I would like to do is...
Do it, you git.
I'm actually going to execute
I'm
Riker.
afraid the only.
And then he's going to go into intervention. And this is just purely so we can get all the intervention, all the safe house information, all the intelligence.
Oh no! Oh,
Guff moves to intervention. Guff and Jorgen become trusted. So Jorgen is Jorgen is somewhere. But a bargain, that's going to create a relationship between Guff and Jorgen, so we're not going to do that, we're just going to let him go. Or we could actually, let's interrogate him, because we still need to get that research. Okay, so we've got Janus and Aisling here. And so we don't care about these people.
I really do hate the idea of dying, but
Aisling,
go on then. Get
we
rid of
don't
it.
want her in either of these ones, so we want her in one of these two. But we've figured out who somebody is, so we could get Janus into intervention, as that will, you know, mean we can get a bunch of research from them. Aisling and Leo become trusted.
Just tell me what you want.
So Leo's somewhere around here. Leo we definitely don't want anywhere. We have the transportation one here.
Well met, exile.
And so transportation,
Not here.
we've got Elrion, we've got Haku here. So Elrion we don't care about. Haku we also don't care about. I'm going to execute Haku, move him into transportation.
You remind me why I left
And
the
then
ship.
12 transportation intelligence, that's great. We're closer to running that safe house now. So we've got Vorici, who I definitely want in intervention.
If you think I'm going to say or
I mean in research rather. Janus, who I don't care about. And Aisling.
Go on, do it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute
if you think I'm going to say
Vorici. So he's tier 3 in research now.
Gruesome.
Aisling,
Go on, do it.
we're
You're no
going to
stranger.
execute as well.
Gruesome.
And then Janus.
Pivot.
Janus moves to intervention,
See, you're not
Riker
one
moves to
bluff.
research.
Well, I'm not one to gamble.
That's not what we
Okay,
want.
then
We're going to
that's
interrogate him and get some
Right in that cave.
intelligence.
Every time
Intervention.
you kill me, I just come back stronger.
So we've got Riker, Guff, who's the worst, and Jorgen, who's also pretty terrible.
I'm afraid the only option here for me.
So what I want is I want Guff and Jorgen. I do not want them in intervention.
For the weak exile.
So I can imprison them and get some intelligence. And Riker,
I'm
I can
afraid the
also
only
imprison him.
option here for me.
And I want to keep his. I don't want him to be tier 3 because it takes 3.
You may despise
Into,
the
Only one fate for
it
the
takes
weak exile.
3 rounds of putting him in jail
Burn
to
notes.
get something out of him. So +1 rank to Jorgen. Jorgen moves to intervention. We don't want that. Guff.
Just do
+1 rank to Guff. Guff moves to intervention. So we don't want either of those things. I'm going to interrogate Guff because
Know
he's the
where you're
worst.
Might makes
And then
right,
Jorgen
which
and
means I work
Gravicius
for you now in a small
become
fashion.
trusted.
You've only got hold of
Research
only
intelligence.
one fight,
So
which we all know is just one grain of sand in the desert of
I
warfare.
do want. Oh, let's just sell this person some Hands of the High Templar.
Small
So
fashion.
Jorgen and Gravicius become
Only got
trusted.
hold of
+4
only
research
one
intelligence.
fight, which we all know
Now this is
just
an
one
intervention
grain of
encounter.
sand in the desert of warfare.
So that makes me think that
isn't nothing.
if Jorgen and Gravicius, I want
Information
relationships
is
between
useful.
Gravicius and
Got a
everyone on the
friend in
board.
Syndicate who is privy to key
That makes me think that
and I offer you this.
because there's +4 research intelligence, that this is actually Gravicius. So if I click bargain, I think there's going to be a line drawn between Jorgen and this person and this one here. Yeah. So this is Gravicius. We know that now. And Gravicius we want on the board, but we want them in intervention. I want Gravicius and Hillock on the board, and we want them both in intervention. And then Vorici and It That Fled, we want those two to be in research. So if one of these 3, or 4 rather, one of these 4 here are It That Fled, and one of them is Hillock, then our board's looking, we don't have to do too much. But if they're not, then we do. Okay, here we've got a fortification one. Vagamore moves to transportation. Elrion moves to fortification. I don't want to create any relationships between these sets of people. They can give us some fortification intelligence, though. And we do need just 4% to get that safe house and then reveal this question mark. So I'm going to definitely do that. Okay, here's an intervention one. We've got Tora. Tora and It That Fled become trusted. Transportation intelligence. So Tora was the last question mark down here. But It That Fled, that means this is It That Fled, I think. So I'm going to bargain, and we get the transportation intelligence. Yeah, so this is it that fled. So on the board, we've got it that fled. We've got Vorici. We've got Gravicius, which I think is the head of research. And then we just want Hillock. And we might have to, either the head of intervention or the head of fortification will be Hillock or not. Here we've got a research encounter. Get them to drop some currency items. I don't actually want Janus in research, so I am going to interrogate them to get a little bit of currency, and then they're going to be at a lower level when they come out. So now we've got a fortification safe house. We're just going to run that real quick. The only reason we're doing this is because we want to reveal who the question mark is. So here's Hillock. That's fantastic. That's basically everybody that we need is on the board. That's really good for us. We're going to interrogate Hillock, and we get 30 mastermind intelligence in total from Hillock. So as soon as Hillock comes out, we're going to then imprison him again until he's level 0. And then we're going to try and manipulate them until they get into intervention. So we've got fortification here. So now we want to be pretty careful with our choices. We definitely want Vajan and Jorgen to stay in fortification, but we don't want to generate a lot of fortification intelligence. So we're not going to bargain. We're just going to let them go. Here we go. And now here's it that fled. Amazing. So it that fled, we're going to imprison them, and we're going to get intervention intelligence from it that fled, which is fantastic. But we definitely want them to, we want to de-level them, we want to down rank them. So you can see here it that fled is level 2. They're the leader of transportation. That's terrible for us. We want them in research, so we have to down level them until they're level 0. And now we've got Haku and Elrion in transportation. We're getting some intervention intelligence from them, which is great. We need to unveil that question mark. And then Tora and Guff, we also don't want them to, we don't want Guff to be in anything. I mean, ideally we want to just leave, Guff should leave the Immortal Syndicate, but if Guff is imprisoned, then we're getting Mastermind Intelligence from Hillock, so I want that to stay there. So we're just going to let them be for now. Guff moves intervention. Tor and Guff become trusted. We're definitely not going to take that. And we've got Janus Parandus as well. So we want Ed the Fled and Vorici in research. Gravicius and Hillock in intervention. Janus we don't care about. Vorici we do care about. So Vorici wants to keep him as in research, but we could get a lot of research right here. We need to run intervention and research safe houses because we need to unveil who these question marks are. So I'm actually going to interrogate him. And then Janus and Riker become trusted. I don't care about Riker or Janus, so I'm going to let them go. I don't want any relationships between Janus and Riker. Okay, so we've got a... This is a fortification encounter. Guff. So we want Hillock and Gravicius in intervention. And Gravicius is here. He's in research. We also want Jorgen to still be in transportation. Guff we actually want to execute and move him into fortification. Gravicius, we want Gravicius. Oh, we got an option to +1 rank to Gravicius. Jorgen loses all ranks, which would be really good for us because that way Gravicius and Jorgen become rivals. So we want that. We want that relationship. And this one is even better. We get research intelligence and their rivals. Nobody moves around. So we can get them to be betrayed. And Gravicious, we want to remove Gravicious. This is what we never click. We never click remove all rivalries because that's just all of the lines go away. So we want Gravicious out of research, but not at the expense of 30 fortification intelligence because that's too much. We want to have that to be as close to 0 as possible. If it was transportation, that would be fine. If it was intervention or research intelligence, that would also be fine, but it's not. So we're going to leave Gravicious right there. So here's our intervention intelligence, or intervention encounter. Okay, so in the intervention encounter, we've got Riker and Janus. We don't want either of these people in intervention. So Riker, we're going to interrogate them. And Janus, all prisoners set free. Intervention intelligence, research intelligence. That's pretty good for us. But we also do not want Janus in intervention. So we're just going to interrogate him. He'll give us some... Okay, it's just Vorici. Vorici is in research. We want him to stay there. We don't need any intelligence from him because we're going to get it from Ailing and Gravicious at some point. We definitely don't want to remove him, so we're just going to do that. Alright, so here we've got a transportation one. It's just Elrion. We've got Janus moves to transportation. Elrion and Janus become trusted. I don't want to create any relationships between Janus and Elrion. So we're just going to let them go. Okay, here we got a intervention encounter. Remove all rivalries, I never want to do that. Imprison for 3 turns. That means we will get enough intelligence to run this intervention encounter. We'll find out who the question mark is, so we're going to do that. Okay, here we got a research encounter. We've got Vorici. Janus moves to research. Vorici and Janus become trusted. I want half of that, but I don't want the other. I don't want Janus being in here. Which, perhaps we might take it, because then there is a relationship between Janus and Vorici. And we do want that. I don't want Janus in research, but hopefully it'll just be at tier 1, and then I can imprison him once and he'll be out again. But we'll have the relationship. Okay, it's a tier 1, so that's not bad. That's actually pretty good for us.
I knew you were sharp.
Okay, so we got a fortification encounter here. Hillock, we want in intervention, so we're probably going to imprison him. Jorgen and Tora, we want both of these people in fortification, so we're probably going to execute them. Oh, we got an intervention safe house to run as well. So Tora moves to fortification. That's just great for us. Jorgen, just +1 rank to him. That's fine. And Hillock, we're definitely going to interrogate him. Oh, wait a minute. Do we want to interrogate him though? Imprisoned for 3 turns, 7 fortification intelligence. We do want to downrank him, but we might not want to generate 21 fortification intelligence to do it. I think we can go for it. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got Vorici and Janus. This is the opportunity for us to put Janus in jail. Oh, look at that though. 20 research intelligence. Janus and Vorici become rivals, and that would put us over the top for getting Gravicious out of the research position. That's pretty good. That's very, very tempting. 12 research intelligence for, and he becomes rivals. So if we get 12 from him, and then we imprison this guy, we get 9. So that's 21, and we also get that as well. I think we should... I think we're going to just do the betrayal now, so we get the safe house. And then... I don't think we need to do anything. We can just bargain 20 research. It's neither here nor there. Cool. So, let's run some safe houses. So we got intervention. This is going to tell us who is the last question mark on the board. So it turns out it's Leo. So we're going to interrogate Leo for 3 turns, 10 mastermind intelligence per turn. So Riker is now the leader of research. We also, intervention. We need to get him out. Now it's time for another safehouse. So we're going to get some more mastermind intelligence from him. So we're getting 20 per turn at the moment for 3 turns. That's pretty good. So now we know who everybody is. We want to get Hillock into intervention. We want to get Gravicious into intervention. Vorici is already in research. And we want to get It That Fled into research. And then Riker and Janus, we want those people to be in either transportation or fortification. Doesn't matter which one. Okay, so we've got an intervention encounter. Vorici, we do not want to have an intervention. We want to have him in research.
Go on.
Aisling, we do not want to have in intervention. We want to have
Make it quick.
them anywhere else. But we don't want to interrupt all this mastermind intelligence we're getting. But if we interrogate Aisling, maybe Hillock will come out and then we won't get so much fortification intelligence. So I'm going to try that. Oh, it was that. Okay, great. That's fantastic. And then Vorici, we're just going to let him go. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've only got Vorici. Vorici's just been put into research, which is great. Vorici moves to fortification. Hillock moves to research. That is not what we want. So we're just going to let him go. Okay, so here's a transportation. Removal rivalries is terrible. We don't really want to interrogate him because whilst that would give us the transportation safe house and then we would be able to get... Actually, yeah, we're going to go with that. Okay, so there's a fortification encounter. We've got Hillock. Hillock moves to research. Vorici moves to fortification. That's not what we want. We do want Hillock to be in intervention, though. So we're going to interrogate Hillock because then he will lose his rank and then he will be a free agent. So we'll just put him there. Okay, so it's an intervention encounter. We've got Leo and Aisling. Leo, we don't want to have him having any ranks in intervention. And Aisling we don't really care about. So Leo, I'm actually going to interrogate him. And Aisling and Vorici become trusted. Now, that's useful to us because we want relationships between everybody in research and intervention with each other. So Aisling and Vorici become trusted. That's good for us. So we're going to do that. We get +4 research intelligence. It's not too much, and we're going to be running research and intervention a lot, so we're okay with having intelligence in those houses. So we'll bargain. And now we have a little green line between Aisling and Vorici. Okay, so here we've got a research encounter. We've got Vorici and Aisling. Vorici we want to keep in research. Aisling we want to have in any other house. So Vorici, we're... Aisling removed from the Immortal Syndicate. We don't want that. We still want Aisling to be on the board somewhere. But we don't want Aisling to be removed. So, Vorici... So Aisling we're actually just going to let go. And then Vorici... Elrion moves to research. Vorici and Elrion become trusted. That's good for us because it means we create a relationship between Vorici and Elrion. So I'm going to take that one. Okay, so we've got a fortification one here. We've got Gravicious, who is in research, and we want him to be in intervention. And we've got Jorgen, who we don't care about. So Jorgen... he can stay there, but Gravicious, we're going to interrogate him. We're getting some fortification intelligence, that's a shame. And we'll just let that go. And then Gravicious will be 1 rank lower when he leaves, which is great. Okay, so we've got an intervention one here. Hillock is currently at 0 stars. Leo's at 1. Aisling's at 0. So Hillock we actually want to be into intervention, that's great for us. So we've got our first person. We've got 2 people in the right place now. So we've got Vorici in research. We've got Hillock in intervention. Aisling and Leo we don't care about. We don't really want them to have ranks. I don't want Aisling to move to intervention, so I might put them in jail. Yeah, if we interrogate them, there's going to be nothing problematic with that. And also, Gravicious gave us 7 fortification intelligence per turn. Ideally, we don't want him to give us any. So maybe if we can immediately jail somebody else, then they will take Gravicious out. And we will stop getting fortification intelligence, but Gravicious will have been de-leveled, which is the goal. Okay, so now we've got a research encounter, and we've got Vorici, Janus, and Elrion. Vorici is the only one we want in research. We're probably going to execute him. Yeah. Janus, we want out. So we are going to interrogate him. So now we've got Vorici as the head of research. That's great. And then Elrion and the other guy, they're going to stay where they are. So, and maybe we can, yeah, we're just going to interrogate them. And that way they will lose their ranks. And they'll be easier to manipulate moving forwards. Okay, so we've got a fortification one. We've got Jorgen, Tora, and Aisling. Aisling we want to get into fortification. So we're definitely going to do that straight away. Now Aisling is in fortification. That's really good for us. Tora, we're going to execute because they're rank 3 in fortification. And Jorgen we're just going to let go. Probably. All prisoners set free. 3 intervention intelligence and 16 research intelligence. That's actually fine. Yeah. There we go. And that means that oh, actually that means that these people might show up now in the next one. So maybe that was actually a really bad idea. So here's the intervention. Okay, it's just Hillock. So we got a Hillock in intervention. Hillock moves to fortification, Guff moves to intervention. We're definitely not going to be doing that. We can actually interrogate him now, and we will get some intelligence, and he'll be rank 3 when he comes, rank 1 when he comes out. So we'll do that. Okay, we got a research one. We got Gravicious and Elrion. We want to interrogate Gravicious because we don't want him in research, and Elrion we don't care about. So if we interrogate him, that's fine, and then maybe soon we'll be able to get him into intervention. Elrion, he can just give us 4 research intelligence. That's fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. Oh, and now he got a relationship. Okay, so we've got a fortification encounter. We've got Jorgen and Guff. Hopefully they're both... yeah, they're both in fortification anyway. So I'm just going to execute Guff. And Jorgen can stay where he is as well. Get some free intelligence for doing that. Okay, so here's an intervention encounter. We've got Hillock. Gravicious moves to intervention. Hillock and Gravicious become trusted. This is exactly what we want. So we're gonna get not only both of the people we want in intervention, but we're also going to get a relationship between them, which is absolutely fantastic. So now we just need It That Fled in a transportation encounter, so we can imprison them, and then we can move them to research. Okay, so we've got a research encounter here. Vorici want to stay here. Elrion, we want to move him into either transportation or fortification. Elrion removed from the Syndicate. It's not great for us. And perhaps here, yeah, 3 ranks to Elrion. Vorici loses all ranks. Elrion and Vorici become rivals. Now it's very good, but Elrion is in research. We want him not to be. And Vorici, we want him to be in research, and he is already. So this we're not going to take. I think this kind of thing, it can be good if if you know what you're doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. So this could be good, but it's not. So we're just going to let them go. This one's just a wash. Oh, destroy all items of research members. That just makes things easier. Okay, so we've got an intervention. We've got Hillock, Leo, and Janus. We only want Hillock to do be promoted. Janus and Leo, we don't care about them. We're not going to move them into intervention. So we'll just leave those there. Okay, so here's the transportation one. We've got It That Fled with 1 star, which means that we're going to be able to interrogate them. They will lose all their ranks. And we will get a little bit of intelligence. We don't really care about that. We're going to get to 99%. But then that means that the next time they show up in a research encounter, we'll be able to add them to the research encounter, and we'll be very close to set up for the large amount of the board. So we got we got Elrion, Vorici. So Elrion, I actually want to imprison Elrion now, because then Elrion will be removed from research. Janus has been moved into transportation because there's no person there. So Elrion, we're going to interrogate him. Vorici, we're going to do nothing with. And Leo, we're not going to do anything with either. And then Vorici, oh, we can bargain with him. We have quite a lot of research already. I think I'm going to leave him there. There's going to be plenty of time for us to get fill these up later. Okay, so we've got a fortification one. Guff and Haku become trusted. We don't want that at all, so we're just going to leave them there. Okay, so we got intervention. It's just Gravicious here. Gravicious and Hillock are the only people we want in intervention, so we're just going to let them go. Okay, it just seems to be Leo and Elrion. So here's research one. It's Leo and Elrion. Leo, we want to remove all the levels from, and Elrion we don't care about. And that's it. We're done with that. So this is fortification. We've got Aisling, Guff, and Tora. Guff and Tora both already have maximum rank. So Aisling, we want to, I guess, execute them. It's fine. And then Guff and Tora, we're either going to let them go or... yeah, we'll just let Guff go. It's a shame. Tora moves to intervention. Hillock moves to fortification. Don't want to do that. So for intervention, we've got Gravicious and Jorgen. We want to level up Gravicious. Jorgen we don't care about, but we might imprison him to give us intelligence. So Gravicious we can upgrade, and Jorgen doesn't make any difference. So if we execute Gravicious, now he's level 3. So Hillock and Gravicious are both level 3, which is great. And then Jorgen and Riker become trusted. We don't care about Riker. So we will just time that out. And then we move on. And we got It That Fled. So here's a research encounter. We got It That Fled. It That Fled is level 1. So we could get a... we can get a... we can get a relationship between Leo and It That Fled right now, which is pretty good. We've got Elrion and Leo who don't have anything going for them at the moment. So I'm actually going to take this just because we're going to imprison Leo as soon as he turns up in whatever guise. And now it's just a question of getting people into transportation and running the transportation one, and then getting Riker out of intervention, which will happen as soon as we run intervention. We've got an intervention here. It's just Jorgen, so we're going to just let Jorgen go. We don't need anything from him. Okay, so it's research. We've got Leo and Elrion turning up. They're both Leo. This is when we're going to interrogate him and remove him, but now he has a relationship with It That Fled.
Please, no.
And Elrion, we're going to just imprison him. We're going to let him go. Okay, so here we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Elrion, Gravicious, and Jorgen. This is where we could start pumping Jorgen into jail for intelligence. We get 12 per turn. But I'm going to wait until this is at 100%. So I need a transportation one before I do anything. Elrion, we don't care about. We're not going to move him to anywhere, so we're just going to let him go. Jorgen and Gravicious can both stay where they are. And we don't have any become rivals thing here. Drop a unique item. That's it. So we'll just let him go. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We got it that fled, and we got destroy all items of research members. If this said betray, then it would mean that they were going to betray whoever's the boss. So it'd be Vorici in this case, but it doesn't. So we're just going to bargain with them. We don't get anything out of it. Okay, so here we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Hillock, Elrion, and Gravicius. Hillock and Gravicius want to keep there. Elrion, we don't want to do anything with him. We want him to be in transportation, if anything at all. So we're going to just execute this one, and then maybe we can get a relationship between Gravicius or Hillock with Elrion. Elrion and Id that fled become trusted, and +4 research intelligence. So that's great. That's absolutely what we wanted. Now we've got a little relationship. Okay, so here we've got the transportation mission we really wanted. So hopefully Leo moves to transportation, Janice and Leo become trusted. We don't want that. Oh, actually we do. We don't want that, because Leo and Janice, we don't want to have a relationship between each other. But I think if we run this, or we have now Vorici and Id that fled are now in research, and that we want to stay that way. Hillock and Gravicius are both in intervention, and we can get Riker out when we run that the safe house. So if we imprison Janice now, we will get enough to run the transportation safe house. So we're going to do that. And then we'll run transportation. Haku will go into jail, but we'll get this up to 100%. And then once we get Leo, Elrion, and I suppose Janice as well, because he'll be level 0 when he comes out. Once we get all those people into transportation, then we can start cycling the board like mad. And we can start going through intervention and research encounters real quick. Okay, so it's a fortification encounter. We've only got Aisling. We don't actually want to do anything here, but we do have Haku as the leader of the safe house for transportation. That's really great for us. So we're just going to let Aisling go, and that's going to be it for this. Okay, so here's intervention. We've got Gravicius. Gravicius moves to fortification. Tora moves to intervention. We don't want to do that, so we're just going to do that. Okay, so we've got a research encounter here. We've got Elrion, Id that fled, and Leo. We only want Id that fled to be leveled up, so we will do that. Leo and Elrion, we want to just leave them where they are. We want them to move into transportation, if anything, so we're just going to let them go. And yeah, now we can run our transportation safe house. So now we do that. Leo goes into transportation. Brilliant. Haku's probably going to come out after the first turn in the next map. So this is great. This is absolutely brilliant. It's a research encounter. We've got Id that fled, Tora, and Leo. Leo is actually the boss now of transportation. So we're going to execute Leo, because then he's going to stay there. He's going to be 16 intelligence the next time he turns up in an area. Id that fled and Tora. If we don't want to have the, we don't want to run our research encounters yet, but there's a betrayal opportunity here. So destroy all members, all items of research members. Betray, that means that this green line here between Tora and Id that fled is going to turn red. So we're going to take that. So now this is the first. This is really good. We want to have red lines between everybody. Hillock, Gravicius, Vorici, and Id that fled. We want them to have red lines with as many people as possible, including each other. But these ones, we only want these people in here to have red lines with these two and these two. And then Id that fled. We can get some research intelligence. I think we're, how much is it? 14. So 86. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay, so we got an intervention encounter now. We got Gravicius, Hillock, and Elrion. Elrion, we want him to go into transportation. Hillock and Gravicious, we're fine with these. Basically, we're only really looking for betrayal opportunities here. So we want Giannis and Elrion to both go into fortification because we don't have any... we have space for them there. So Gravicious is going to execute him. Hillock, we're going to execute him. And then Elrion, we can get him to just drop some currency items. That's fine. Okay, so we've got a transportation mission. It's fantastic. We've got Elrion, we've got Haku. Elrion, we want him to be in transportation, so we're definitely going to do that. And Haku, we don't really care about. He is in intervention. He's in transportation already, so that's fine. So this means we've got one less person to worry about. Now it's just Giannis Parandus we want to be in transportation, and then we're basically done. We're basically then just improving the board. Okay, so we've got a fortification mission. We've got Jorgen and Gravicious. We want Gravicious to say an intervention. In Jorgen, we don't want anything from. So maybe we can execute Gravicious and we'll get some kind of betrayal option. Oh, they already hate each other, so we're not going to get that. So we'll just let them go. Okay, so we've got a intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious, Hillock, and Jorgen. Jorgen, we can actually now imprison for 12 turns. For 3 turns, and we'll get 12 intelligence each time, which will be not enough to tick this over. We need, we'll get 36, but we need 39. So we'll just interrogate him. And we'll get some stuff. Gravicious removed from the Immortal Syndicate. That's a betrayal option. So that means Gravicious probably has that as well. Yeah, 3 ranks to Gravicious. Hillock loses all ranks. Gravicious and Hillock become rivals. I don't want to take this one simply because we want Hillock to be around still. Although it is a great option. And then Hillock and Guff become trusted. Now this means we do get a green line. We get a new line on the board, which is great. So, and it's only 4 fortification intelligence, so we're going to take that. Okay, we've got a research encounter. We've got it that fled, and we can get 28 research. I'm actually going to wait for this. I want to get everything set up before we start cycling things, so we're just going to hang around. So this is a fortification one. We've got Tora. If she just wants to give us intelligence, we're just going to let her go instead. An intervention one, we've got Gravicious and Giannis. We don't want Giannis in intervention. I think we're going to execute Gravicious and see if we get a... we didn't get a betrayal option, so we're just going to bargain. He can drop us a really terrible map. So here we've got a research one. It's just it that fled that turned up. Remove all rivalries in the Immortal Syndicate. We're never going to press that button. So we'll just leave that there. Okay, so we got transportation finally. We only got Haku though. We didn't get Janus. Oh, Janus moves to transportation. Haku and Janus become trusted. This would be really good for us to get them out. But it's I don't know if it's worth it. It's very frustrating for the future. Because if Haku and Janus are trusted, then we could have a transportation encounter where only Haku and Janus turn up. And what we want is when we have a transportation or a fortification encounter, we want Vorici and it that fled to turn up, or Hillock and Gravicious, so that we can execute them and level them up. So we can get them to level 3 real quick. So it's a bad idea to take it, but I'm going to do it. And now, yeah, now we've got Janus in transportation. So now we've got Elrion and Janus in transportation. Jorgen's in fortification. We just need to... The only thing we need to do now is imprison Riker until he's level 0. And in order to do that, we need a one of these encounters. So Gravicious... we can imprison Gravicious now, and we will get in the next thing. We will get a in the next turn, which we will get in research over here. Oh, it's the Sacred Grove. In this turn, we'll get Gravicious out. He'll be level 2, which is not ideal. We ideally want him to be level 3 because then we get Gilded Scarabs rather than polished ones. But in order to set the board straight or fast, I think it's worth it. Just missing out on one Gilded Scarab. So here we've got a research encounter. We've got Ither Fled, Elrion, and Leo. And this is where now we can just rather quickly get ourselves a bunch of research. So I think I'm going to execute Elrion, so he goes up 1 level. Destroy all members of research members, all items of research members. This is a betrayal option. So now there's going to be a... currently there's a green line between It That Fled and Leo. And this is going to turn into a red line now, which is great. That's really good for us. And then It That Fled moves to transportation. Elrion moves to research. We're not going to do that. And now we've got a safe house to run. And so now we're going to run the intervention safe house. Okay, so here we go. We're going to interrogate Riker. Gravicious is in intervention. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got a fortification encounter. We've got Jorgen here. And we're only offered fortification intelligence. We don't want that. Riker has been put into intervention, which is 50-50 between the two of them. So we want Hillock to go into intervention, and Riker we're going to imprison. Here we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Riker. Hillock moves to intervention. Riker and Hillock become trusted. Fantastic. We definitely want that place. So we got It That Fled. We don't want to do anything yet because we're going to wait until we are set up. So we're just going to let them go. Okay, so it's a fortification mission. We've got Guff, we've got Gravicious, and we've got Jorgen. Gravicious and Jorgen we can level up because they will then be level 3, and Guff we can just leave him alone. So we're going to execute Gravicious, execute Jorgen, and then Guff. Guff and Riker become trusted. We don't want Riker anywhere, so we're going to ignore that one. Okay, so we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Hillock here. We want Riker to be around. We'll take some intelligence. It doesn't. There's no issue here. Okay, so here we've got a research encounter. It's It That Fled. We don't want to do anything here. We want to wait until we've got Riker out of intervention and into either transportation or fortification. So we're just going to let them go. Okay, so we've got an intervention. It's Riker. This is fantastic. We can imprison him, and he will get de-leveled to level 0. So he'll be hanging around here, and then eventually we'll do a transportation mission, and hopefully he will go in. Riker and Leo become trusted is bad for us, so we're just going to interrogate him. And now, in the future, we're going to be able to get him into transportation. So fantastic. So it's research. We've got It That Fled, Elrion, and Tora. We don't want to do anything just yet, but we have a friendship between Elrion and It That Fled, so maybe we can turn that into a rivalry. And Tora and It That Fled have a rivalry already, so if we're going to do anything, it's probably going to be execute It That Fled. We don't get anything from Elrion, and for Tora we get drop a scarab, so we'll just do that. A transportation one, we've got Haku. Haku and Tora become trusted. I don't want that. Just going to let them go. So it's a fortification mission. We've got Tora. Tora and Guff become trusted. That's not what we want, so we're just going to do that. Okay, so we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Guff, Hillock, and a Riker. Riker we do not want to execute and bring into intervention. Hillock we want to level up though. Guff we can actually imprison and get some intelligence from, and Riker we don't want to do anything with. Guff moves to research here, the third moves to fortification. We're definitely not going to do that. Guff is the worst. Okay, so we got a research encounter. It's It That Fled and Elrion. Oh, there's a betrayal option here, so we don't want to remove them all It That Fled, but maybe Yeah, destroy all items of transportation members. This is a way for not changing any ranks around, but getting this green line to turn red, which is what we want. And then Arion Arion and Vagin become trusted. We don't want that. So we'll just let them go. Okay, so we got a transportation encounter. It's Janus and Vorici. So if anything, we're just gonna level up Janus, I suppose. Yeah, we didn't get Riker, which is a shame. We got destroy all members of research members for Vorici, and that is going to set this line to green. So we don't want that because it's we want to keep those red. Okay, so we've got a research mission. It's It That Fled. It That Fled moves to transportation. Janus moves to research. We're definitely not going to do that. Okay, so it's intervention. We've got Guff, Riker, Gravicius, and Hillock. Hillock and Gravicius, we want them to be, you know, where they are at the levels that they're at. Guff and Riker, we want them to be not in intervention, so we can't execute Riker. Guff we can execute, and we will just be able to get more research for him and more intelligence the next time we have to imprison him.
I'm afraid the
So we're gonna execute these ones. Maybe we'll get a betrayal option for Gravicius or for Riker. That'd be pretty good. We get nothing, so we'll just execute them. Okay, so we've got a fortification mission. We've got Jorgen and Gravicius. We're probably not going to do anything here. If there is a betrayal option, we'll take it. Become neutral. Don't think we're going to do that. So we're done. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. It's It That Fled, Tora, and Elrion. Everybody's already maximum level. We're waiting for Riker to go somewhere into either transportation or fortification. It's probably going to be transportation, which is frustrating because those are quite rare encounters. We're going to execute and hope for a betrayal option. It That Fled moves to fortification. Jorgen moves to research. I don't think we'll be doing that. Okay, we got a intervention encounter. We've got Gravicius and Hillock turning up. Hillock becomes leader of intervention. Hillock and Gravicius become rivals. That's real good for us. And this one is lose all ranks. So we'll take Hillock being the leader because then we get a red line instead of a green line there. And then we'll just let Gravicius go. So it's a fortification mission. We've got Jorgen. Jorgen moves to transportation. Elrion moves to fortification. This would create a, because it's a bargain option, it would create a green line between the two of them. We're not going to do that. If it was Riker, we might. Okay, we've got an intervention encounter. It's just Gravicius that's turned up. Gravicius and It That Fled become trusted. They currently have no relationship, so we'll do that. We'll get 4 research in intelligence. That's great. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got It That Fled, Tora, and Elrion. We don't want to change anything particular here. We're still waiting for Riker to go into transportation, but perhaps we will get a betrayal option. We didn't get one with Elrion, maybe with Tora. No. Okay. Okay, so we've got an intervention. It's Gravicius. We could get 28 intervention intelligence, which was actually pretty good. That's going to put us at 79. Yeah, so let's do that. And then it's going to make the intervention encounter easier. Alright, so we've got transportation here. We've got Vorici, Haku, It That Fled, and Elrion. And as I said at the top, these missions are just for executing people to level them up. So that's all we'll be doing. So Haku will level him up to 3 so that when he turns up later on in interventional research, we will get more intelligence out of him. The rest we don't care about. We just want to use them to, yeah, so this one's great. Destroy all members of transportation members. This is going to create a, this is going to make Vorici betray probably Elrion, I think, here. Because betray means that a green line is going to turn red. Or a yellow line is going to turn red. And I think that's between Elrion. So if we go and talk to Elrion now, he probably has a betrayal one for Vorici as well. Yeah, 28 research intelligence. Vorici and Elrond become rivals. I don't want to take that now because if I run the research safe house, I don't want Riker to go into it. So I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to use this one. So destroy that. And no, there we go. That green line has been turned red. And then this one, transportation intelligence. I do not want transportation intelligence. I want to leave that available as much as possible. Now we've got a research encounter. We've got Gravicious, It Fled, and Riker. So Gravicious, we're just going to be letting go probably. It Fled, probably going to let him go. And Riker, probably going to let him go as well. We definitely don't want Riker to go into research. So Gravicious removed from the Immortal Syndicate. That's a betrayal option. And Gravicious might have one as well. Yeah, 28 research intelligence and It Fled become rivals with Gravicious. We don't want that one either. Later on, that would be great. As soon as a Riker is in somewhere. Yeah, and research intelligence. We don't want that yet. Soon. Okay, so this is a transportation mission we were waiting for. We've got Riker here. We've got Janus. We've got Vorici. And we've got Haku. We don't care about any of that apart from Riker being in transportation. And that means there is nobody who does not have a rank now. There's nobody who does not have a house. The board is set up. And that means we can rapidly start cycling through these ones again and again and again. This is only to rank people up. And all these people are ranked up. We're going to execute Haku. Maybe we'll get some betrayal options. I haven't seen any yet. Drop a Scarab is fine. But that's it. And now we're ready to go. Okay, so here is the intervention encounter. We got Hillock, It Fled, and Gravicious. Now that we're all set up, we essentially want... I'm not sure how much... It's difficult to see the board sometimes. Let's see. We've got 79% intervention intelligence. We want It Fled, Gravicious, and Hillock to be out of jail. But perhaps if we execute It Fled first... we might get a betrayal option from Gravicious, or we might get just somebody to offer us a bit of intelligence. So 14 intervention intelligence. It's not enough to get us all the way, but it's pretty good. And that means that in the research encounter just over here, we're probably gonna get somebody else in jail. Okay, so here we are with the research encounter. We've got Elrond, Tora, and It Fled. It Fled, obviously, we want to keep them around. They're the breach enhancer. Tora and Elrond, we're going to interrogate them unless... or actually just one of them, because one will give us enough research. Elrond and Janus become trusted. That's not useful to us. But this is enough. So in one turn... we'll get the research encounter, or we get the research safe house, and then we'll be able to cycle through that. So we'll just let Elrond go. We get some jewelry. Okay, so we got Gravicious and we got Hillock in intervention, and unfortunately, we don't get Gravicious moves to fortification, Guth moves to intervention. I think not. Okay, so we've got a transportation here. We're just trying to level people up. So Leo's already high level. Leo removed from Immortal Syndicate. We don't want to take that because then Riker's going to have a relationship with Leo. So we're just going to execute Leo, and then transportation intelligence. We don't want that. We don't care about transportation intelligence. Blah, 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 blah. Go to safe house. So we got a Vorici research captained safe house. We're going to interrogate him. It Fled goes in there, becomes level 1. So we've got fortification. It's Aisling and Tora. This is just for leveling people up. So we're going to execute Tora. Aisling we don't care about. Aisling and Leo become trusted. It's not something we want. And now It Fled is already the captain of research. Vorici is already out. And we're ready to start as soon as we get the intervention intelligence. As soon as we get the research intelligence, start putting more people in there. Okay, so we've got interventionist, Gravicious, and Hillock. We just want to get some intelligence here, and we're getting nothing. So we'll just let him go. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've got Vorici, Janus, and Elrion. Vorici is the only one we care about keeping here. Janus and Elrion we can imprison and get a bunch of research from. So we're going to interrogate Elrion. We're going to actually execute Vorici. We should have executed Vorici first, because then occasionally you'll get a bargain or betrayal thing. But we're going to interrogate Janus as well. And now we're getting... this is 36 each. So we're getting 72 research or intelligence. And we just ran that house. Okay, so it's fortification. We've got Jorgen and we've got Gravicious. This is just for leveling people up. So we're going to execute him. And maybe Jorgen will give us a betrayal thing. Jorgen moves to intervention. Gravicious moves to fortification. We're not going to choose that. Okay, so it's an intervention, and we've got Gravicious and Jorgen. We don't care about Jorgen. Gravicious, we're going to execute him because we're probably going to imprison Jorgen. And then we will get the 7 information we need. So yeah, this one is always the same. Interrogate is always give intelligence, and we don't want Jorgen and Guff to become trusted. We want Guff should have, you know, as little good stuff going on as possible. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've got Vorici here. We could get 28 research intelligence, which is exactly what we need to get this to 100%. And we're not going to take it because Idlet Fled is only level 1. And we need Idlet Fled to be level more. So we're just going to let him go. Okay, let's go talk to Jun. We're going to go and do the Hillock headed safe house. So here's a Hillock safe house. We're just going to interrogate him. Gravicious goes in at the top, and now we get some scarabs. Okay, so we've got a fortification one. We've got Aisling, Vorici, and Jorgen. Jorgen is the lowest level, so we will execute him to level him up. Vorici and Aisling we don't really care about, but this is a betrayal option here. So -1 rank to fortification members, +1 rank to fortification members, -1 rank to research members. This would put Idlet Fled out of a research, which would be pretty bad. But I think we should take it.
Well, that is disappointing.
And then, yeah, so Idlet Fled is still
See, you have the upper hand.
in there for some reason. So Vorici moves to transportation. Elriel moves to research. We're definitely not going to take that one. Okay, so this is an intervention encounter. We've got Guff, we've got Raikou, and we've got Hillock. Hillock we want to is already level 3, so we don't need to do anything with him. Guff and Raikou we can interrogate. Yeah, this is why you want to leave them a little bit later, or at least pay attention to these. So -1 rank to transportation members, +1 rank to transportation members, -1 to intervention members. If hopefully this doesn't take Gravicious out, I will do that, and oh, I did, so that's a shame. But Gravicious will be along. He'll be along right away. But now we've got another betrayal on the board. We've got another red line. Hillock and Idlet Fled become trusted. This is really good because it means that Hillock is more likely to turn up with Idlet Fled, and vice versa. Okay, so we've got a research encounter with Vorici, Elrion, and Aisling. We want to execute Vorici. And then we're going to we're going to leave Idlet Fled at the top there. We're not going to get any more research out of these people. If there's a if there is a betrayal thing, we might take it, but these are all bad, so we're just going to leave it. All right, so this is a research encounter. We've got Vorici. Yeah, Vorici moves to transportation. Raikou moves to research. We're not going to take that, and we're not going to imprison him because we don't need the intelligence just yet. Alright, so we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious and Hillock. Hillock removed from more Syndicate. We don't want to take that. And +1 rank to Hillock we do want to take. And then Gravicious, we don't want to remove all rivalries, so we're just going to let him go. Okay, so we've got a transportation encounter. We've got Haku here. He just wants to remove Janus from the Immortal Syndicate, so we're not going to do anything. This is only for people to be leveled up in. We've got Janus here. Drop an additional rare item with a Veiled mod. That seems fine, but we don't care about those, so we're just going to leave him be. Okay, so it's a fortification mission. We've got Guff, Tora, and Jorgen. This is just for leveling people up, so we're going to execute Guff. And then Tora and Jorgen we don't really care for unless there's some kind of betrayal thing. There isn't. Drop unique item. That's the best thing we've got. Okay, so this is an intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious. Gravicious and Tora become trusted for fortification intelligence. So that's we're going to take that because that's a new relationship that we have on the board now. Okay, so this is a research mission. We've got Vorici and Aisling. Aisling has 3 stars. Vorici has 3 stars. So we're going to execute Vorici. Maybe we'll get something with Aisling. Destroy all members of fortification. All items of fortification members. That's just going to... I don't think that's going to... Oh, there's a red line between Aisling and Vorici already. So this bargain would actually turn that line green. So we're not going to do that. Okay, so this is a fortification mission. We've got Vorici and we've got Aisling. They already hate each other, so we don't need to care about that. We can just execute her, and then Gravicious and Vorici become trusted. They don't have a relationship already, so we want to do that. Okay, so we've got an intervention encounter. We've got Hillock, we've got Gravicious, and we've got It That Fled. So It That Fled, we're going to execute. It's very important for them to go up a level. Gravicious, we want them to betray... Hillock and Gravicious become rivals. They already are. So that's just basically extra intelligence. And for Hillock, it's just execute. So we're going to take that. Betray. And then Hillock and Haku become trusted. Haku and Hillock do not have a relationship. So for 4 transportation intelligence, we can create a new line on the board, which is real good for us. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've got Elrion, we've got Vorici, and we've got Gravicious. Now we're going to level up Gravicious so that the next intervention encounter we can run that safe house. We've got full research, full ranks on Edit Flare and Vorici. So Elrion is going to go into jail, and Vorici, we're just going to execute him. Elrion and Haku become trusted. We don't want that. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got Vorici and Aisling here. In 2 turns, we're going to get 24 intelligence. And so this is going to be full in 1 turn. So there's nothing here we really want to do. We're going to execute Vorici. Or just drop a scarab from him. Okay, it's an intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious here. Destroy all items of intervention members. That's not going to do much for us, really. He's got a couple. We've got Akan Nilm's Hide and Silas's Spires. It's going to be fine. But now the research encounter is ready. So just let him go. Okay, so here we've got a transportation encounter. We've got Elrion. This is just where we would normally level everybody up here, but we can't. So we're just going to let him go. Safe house time. But now Vorici's level 1 and in here, and that's already good for us. We only need 1 white socket. Okay, so we've got a fortification. We've got Jorgen and Gravicious here. If anything, we just wanted to level up Gravicious rather, and Jorgen we don't really care about too much. We're gonna just wait here. 68% on intervention. Jorgen and Aisling become trusted. We're just gonna let him go. Okay, so it's an intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious, Hillock, and Vorici. Vorici we actually want to execute and level up. Just because it's... we don't want to imprison them, at least. Perhaps we'll be able to get... Yeah, Hillock removed from the Water Syndicate. We don't want that. Already max level, so that's fine. Gravicious and Elrion become trusted. So they... don't currently have a relationship, so this is for 4 transportation intelligence. We can get a that's transportation. We can get a new line on the board, which is really good for us. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've got It That Fled and Leo. Leo, we probably want to lock him up. And It That Fled. Oh yeah, 16 research per turn, so there's 48 total for Leo. We're going to execute it that fled first, just to see if anything happens. Drop a Scarab bargain is not as good as that. So it's basically half a whole level, or half a whole encounter there. Okay, it's fortification. We've got Aisling here. There's, this is just for executing people to level them up, so we're not going to do anything. Pretty easy. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's intervention. We've got Gravicious, we've got Hillock, we've got Ed that fled. If anything, I definitely don't want to lock anyone up right now, or Ed that fled. Although Ed that fled is the subordinate in research, so that means that when we go into the research encounter, even if I lock them up now, they will appear, and we will get all the research we would get for them, maybe generating an intervention encounter. What I would want though is either Gravicious or Hillock to betray it that fled. So Hillock, we're not going to get anything from him. I don't think we're going to get anything from him. So it that fled, I know I'm going to interrogate currently. So that means I can execute the other two, and I'll always have the interrogation one left. I'm going to execute Hillock first, see if it changes what it that fled says. Gravicious removed from the Immortal Syndicate, so I feel like Gravicious might betray now. Yeah. So 3 ranks, 2 Gravicious. It that fled loses all ranks. It that fled and Gravicious become rivals. Yeah. This is going to remove It that fled from research, which is annoying. But they do become rivals, and that's not really good enough. I'm gonna interrogate It that fled, and then Gravicious remove the Immortal Syndicate. We don't want to take that one. Okay, so it's fortification. We've got Guff. Guff moves to intervention. Gravicious moves. No, this is just to execute people, so we will leave them alone. Okay, so we've got a intervention one with Gravicious. Gravicious moves fortification, moves intervention. We don't want to do that, so we're just going to leave it there. Okay, we've got a transportation mission. It's a Leo. We don't really need anything here, so we're just going to let him go. So just, interrogate you. So we have a research encounter. It's just as that fled here. We want them to be leveled up soon, so we just bargain for dropping currency items. Okay, so we got transportation. We got Leo, Janus, Haku, and Ed that fled. Ed that fled, we want to level up. Leo, we also want to level up as well. Janus and Haku, everybody else, we want to form a relationship with Ed that fled if they can. Nobody seems to care about that there. Janus continue transportation, Haku become rivals, so that's only between themselves. So I'm just going to let them both go because I don't care about that. Okay, so we've got a fortification mission. It's just Aisling here. I just want to move to transportation, so that's fine. We can just leave them like that. Okay, we've got a fortification mission. We've just got Hillock, so we're probably going to let Hillock go. Oh, Hillock and Vajan become trusted. That's a new line for us on the board, so we're going to do that. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got Tora and It that fled. This is a great opportunity for us to imprison Tora. He's going to give us 36 and to have them pump up the intelligence. Now, we're going to get 36 from Tora, 3 times 12. We've already got 48. And It that fled wants to give us 14 research intelligence for bargaining, which should not create a relationship between Tora and It that fled. But we do get 14%, which is great for us. Okay, so we got a fortification quest, and we got Guff and Hillock. And we don't need to upgrade any of them. But we do seem to have a betrayal option. Destroy all members of intervention, all items of intervention members. That's great for us. That's going to turn the line red. There we go. And then Hillock, we don't want to change anything there. So we've got 1 extra red line now. Okay, so we've got an intervention intelligence. Here's Hillock. He's just going to straight up give us 28 intervention intelligence. Fantastic. Okay, so research encounter. We've got It that fled. There's nothing going to happen here. We just want 2% increased intelligence, so we're just going to let them go, and hopefully we'll get that later on. Okay, we got a transportation mission straight away. Here's Giannis, and Giannis moves to research. Fled moves to transportation. We're not going to do that. Okay, it is intervention, and we got Vajan and Hillock. Vajan, we want to. Here we got a betrayal option. That's pretty bad for us though, because Vorici is level 1. We could go for 20 fortification intelligence. We don't really want to run any fortification safe houses right now, but we are going to interrogate Vajan. So maybe if we do take that one, yeah, let's get betray and then Vagan and Haku. No, 10 intervention intelligence per turn, so it's going to be another 30. Right, we got it that fled an Elrion in a research encounter. We're probably going to lock away Elrion and do nothing with it that fled. We just need 2 XP here, so I think we're definitely going to execute it that fled and then plus 20 to research intelligence. So we don't even need to lock him away and D-rank him by 1. So that's pretty good. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Like we need Cult of the Core and 2 other things. Okay, so here we've got a fortification mission. We've got Tora and Guff. Tora is the lowest level, so we're going to execute her and level her up. And Guff could give us 20 fortification intelligence. We never want fortification intelligence, so we're just going to pass up on that very generous offer. Okay, so we've got an intervention encounter. It looks like we've actually got 2 people here. We've probably got Riker and Hillock. But Hillock is... yeah, it's pretty difficult to tell. So... yeah, we don't want to do anything here. We'll just execute him. Yeah, there's Riker. We can take 36 intervention intelligence though, because we've only got 58 here. So it brings us at let's see, 94? 94% in total. So we're going to interrogate Riker. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got Gravicius, Vorici, and Giannis. Gravicius we actually want to execute because he is the leader of intervention, and this way we can get intervention. We're going to get 24, so we're going to get to 94 by the end of Riker's internment, and we'll be able to next map start up an intervention safe house. Giannis and Vorici, if we can get a oh actually yeah, Vorici we're going to execute him because Giannis perhaps we're going to get a betrayal thing. We didn't. So we're just going to interrogate him for 36. Okay, so we've got a transportation mission. Just Leo though, so we're not going to be able to level anyone up. At least it ticks over the other stuff. Okay, so we got a intervention. We've got Hillock and Haku. We're going to... we got a betray option. Destroy all intervention members. I'm going to take Betray, because now we've got 1 red. Hillock and Tora become trusted. They do not currently have a relationship. So that's actually, we get 2 relationships now on the board for 1 thing. That's pretty good. Hillock's so good at making friends, yo. He's friends with everyone, except that, you know, when he's not. So we've got a research, it's just Vorici. Yeah, there's nothing here that's very appealing, so we're just going to let them go. Okay, so here we've got a fortification. We've got Tora and Hillock. Destroy all items of intervention members, so that's a betray. So that's really good to start off with. And I don't think we want to do +1 rank to anyone. So we're just going to choose this one. This is relatively harmless. It just destroys people's items. They don't even have items in the first place, so that's fine. And then we could get some fortification intelligence, but we don't ever want that, so now we've got a new red relationship on the board. Okay, so here we go with the intervention encounter. We got Tora, we got Hillock, we got Riker. We only need 1 of them to give us a little thing. I'm gonna level up Riker. And Tora I'm going to imprison. So Hillock, we're just going to execute you. And then, oh, she just straight up will give us 14 intervention intelligence, which will bring about the safe house. Nice. Right, so we've got a research encounter, we've got Janus Parandas, we've got Aisling, and we've got Vorici. We want to, you know, if we can at all, level up at the Fled. That seems like we can.
I really do hate
Vorici also doesn't really like any of these people either, so we're not going to get any relationship out of this.
You're no stranger to murder.
36% though. Aisling in prison for 3 turns is 48.
If you think I'm
So if we imprison Aisling, we get a bunch of and destroy all members of research members' items. Destroy all items of research members. It doesn't really do anything, but we will get 48 out of that. So that'll bring us to 84%. We just need to get it that fled in another encounter. I'm guessing it's going to be in transportation. It looks seems pretty frozen. So we're gonna imprison Gravicious. Okay, so we've got a fortification one. Here's Hillock and Guff, and this is just for leveling people up. So Hillock is going to be executed now, and now we've got intervention. Like, we just ran the safe house, but now they're totally ready to have as much stuff pumped in as possible. Fortification intelligence we don't want, so we're just going to leave him. Okay, so we just got an intervention mission. We've got Gravicious, Tora, and Jorgen here. I'm going to execute Gravicious because we're not going to do anything with him. Tora in prison for 3 turns is 48. And then Jorgen will be 36. Okay, so we've got a research one here with just Vorici. We're not going to do anything now. We're just waiting for it to Fled to turn up somewhere so we can execute them and then get them to level 3. Okay, so we've got intervention here. It's Gravicious. Destroy all members of intervention. To destroy all items of intervention members. There's not much here that we want. So I think we're just going to let him go. Okay, so this is transportation. We've got Leo and we've got Elrion, and this is just for leveling people up, so we're going to level up Elrion. Leo, we don't want transportation intelligence from him. And now it's, we've got 84 on those two. It's pretty good. Okay, so we've got a research. It's just Vorici on his own. We can get 14 research intelligence, which is enough to bring us up to 98, but we still need it that fled to get to be executed somewhere. So yeah, we take this. We just need to be careful. Okay, so we've got fortification. We've got it that fled, Vajan, Hillock, and Tora. It that fled is our priority to level up, and we got 98% in the research safe house. Virgin, we want to level up as well. Tora, we can take 2. And then Hillock, we can just bargain and drop a unique item, which doesn't even show up on the loot filter, so not a very good unique item. Okay, so this is an intervention. We've got Elrion, we've got Jorgen, we've got Gravicious, we've got it that fled as well. Now, this is probably a good opportunity for us to... We definitely want 16% here. So that's anybody. But it that fled, we want them... we're going to execute them first because we want to see if we can get a rivalry or a betrayal with them from somebody else. And we can't, so that's a shame. We've got Elrion, who we're going to imprison. And we're also going to do Jorgen as well, because then we get 17%, which is enough so that after we do this research encounter, just here, we'll get the safe house. So we could just let him go. Okay, so this is a research encounter. We've got Vorici, we've got Janus. We can just interrogate Janus, execute Vorici. That doesn't matter too much. Oh, we can actually just straight up take 14 research intelligence from them. And we got 2. It's been 2 maps since we did a intervention encounter, and now we got one of those and we've also got a safe houses rather. So we're back in 2 maps. We get a new set of safe houses. Okay, so we got fortification. We got Jorgen, Gravicius, and Azing, and this is just for leveling people up. So Gravicius, we're going to level up. Now intervention. We just ran the safe house, but now intervention is ready to have all the intelligence pumped into it. Jorgen and Azing, we're going to prioritize Jorgen because he's the lowest level of all of them. And we don't want any fortification intelligence from Azing, so we're going to leave her there. Okay, so we've got a intervention encounter now. We've got Vagin, and Hillock. And Hillock we're going to keep around, and Vagin we're going to imprison. We can actually imprison them both. Hillock moves to fortification, Jorgen moves to intervention. That's terrible for us. We're just going to do just the one, and then we're going to go into the research one. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. We've got Leo that fled and Hillock. Leo's obviously going behind bars. Hillock, we kind of want him to stick around. It that fled, we want him. We want It that fled to stick around. But Leo, we would ideally like to have a relationship with It that fled. Oh, they do already. They have. Yeah. Okay, so we can execute Hillock as well, and then maybe we'll get a betrayal. We don't. So we're just going to get some intelligence. Okay, so we've got intervention. We've got Hillock here and Riker. Hillock, we're just gonna maybe there's a relationship we can forge. No, they already hate each other. So Riker is definitely going to be interrogated, and we'll just execute Hillock. Interrogate him. Okay, so here is the transportation encounter. We've got Janus, we've got It that fled, and we've got Elrion. My priority here is to either make a relationship with someone and It that fled, and to level up Elrion. Those are the 2 things I really, really want to do. Either way, I need to execute. This guy. He already hates It that fled, and Janus does not have a relationship with It that fled yet. So we're going to check what we got here. Nothing. Nothing. So let's execute It that fled and then hope we get something. Janus moves to fortification, Tora moves to transportation. Nope, so we're just going to release them. Okay, so it's research. We've got It that fled and we've got Gravicius. I don't really want to lock up Gravicius or It that fled, but we do get the option to destroy all items of research members. So we're going to absolutely take that now. Gravicius and It that fled hate each other. That's really good for us. It that fled and Jorgen become trusted. This is also brilliant. They don't have a relationship yet, and it only costs us 4 fortification intelligence. So now It that fled has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 relationships now. So it's going to be a lot easier for us to get It that fled to spawn. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. It's just It that fled here. It that fled and Leo become neutral. That implies that they're currently hate each other, so we're not going to take that. We're going to just leave. Okay, so we've got a intervention encounter. It's just Hillock here. We're gonna, if I can drop a map, we've got nothing going on here. Okay, so we got a transportation. It's just Leo on his own, and the only one available is moving to fortification, and for Jan moving to transportation, and that doesn't really help us at all. So we're just gonna let him go. Okay, so we got a fortification one. We got Jorgen, Aisling, Vorici, and Tora. The priority here is upgrading Azing and Vorici. Nothing else really matters. If there's any weird little betrayals we could do, then that would be great, but there's nothing here. Tora removed me. Do not want that. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We got It that fled and Hillock. If they don't already hate each other, we want them to. It that fled removed from all the Syndicate, so there is a betrayal here. 28 intervention intelligence, and they become rivals. That's perfect. We get a safe house. The relationship turns red. That means we don't get we don't get an intervention encounter this map, but that's absolutely fine. There we go. Okay, so we're going to interrogate him. Okay, so we got a transportation. It's just Elrion here. So he's offering us transportation intelligence. We do not want to take it, so we're just going to leave him be. Okay, so we got a intervention encounter. We've got Gravicius, Jorgen, and Vorici. Jorgen's going straight in jail. Vorici actually might be useful to imprison him, because then he will lose 1 rank. We don't care about Vorici's rank as long as it's 1 and he's in research. And it that fled, who has 3, will go straight into the captaincy spot. So there's actually some maybe super smart ideas here. So Jorgen, we know, or Gravicius, we know we're going to execute you. Jorgen already hates Gravicius. Vorici and Gravicius are friends, though. But we don't have any really good options here. So we're going to interrogate Vorici. Oh, we just get straight 28 intelligence. I'm going to interrogate him instead. So there's a few. We're in a research encounter. There's a couple of things going on here. Vorici is here, and so is Elrion. We just jailed Vorici. So when we click on this, I think his portrait will move from the jail out. Yeah, there we go, like that. So Elrion is also here, but he's stuck behind. They're both in the same. You can't. Yeah, it's impossible to click on both of them. What we want is to imprison Vorici and to imprison Elrion. And I think, yeah, we're just gonna straight away do that. Oh, Gravicius is here as well. Okay, so there's 3 people here, and we can only see one of them. So +1 rank to members of intervention, -1 to transportation members. This is difficult because we can't see what Elrion's one is. But if we were to take this, it would be -1 rank to transportation members. So that's Leo, who's already rank 2, Riker, who's rank 2, Elrion, who's rank 3. Yeah, so there's no issue with taking this. They will go down 1 rank. Oh, I guess they switch around. And then we're left with Elrion here. And Elrion we are going to imprison as well, because we get 21 research for him. Okay, so it's a fortification mission. We've got Aisling here. Aisling and Riker, we don't want relationships between them, so we're just going to let them go. And okay, so we're here with an intervention. We've got Ed of Fled, we've got Gravicius, and we've got Tora. We're probably going to lock up Tora and nothing else. Let's see, Ed of Fled. What have we got down here? We've got 7 research, 7 research. So Tora we're definitely going to be imprisoning, and then in a little while we'll get the next intervention safe house. Ed that fled, I'm gonna execute, I think, Ed that fled and see if I can get something from Tora. 3 ranks to Tora. Gravicius loses all ranks, so that means that Gravicius probably has destroy all items of fortification members. So this means that he'll be this line will go red between him and Tora, and now we can just interrogate Tora. Okay, so here we got a research one. We got Vorici, Janus, and Elrion. We want to get some. We're probably just gonna interrogate Janus. We get 30 from Janus, so that'll put us over. Vorici, we kind of want to execute. Elrion, we definitely want to execute, because we want him to be higher level. Yeah, I think we'll go for that as well. And then he'll just give us 16 research intelligence, but it's not enough to get the next level, so we'll just interrogate him. Okay, so we've got a transportation one here. We've got It That Fled, we've got Leo, we've got Haku, we've got Elrion. Obviously, we want to level these people up, but we also want to try and get some rivalries with it that fled. So execute you, and then we're going to execute you as well, and then Haku, 28%, 28 transportation intelligence, and Haku and Elrond become rivals. We don't care about those two people, and we can't level up Haku, which is a shame. I guess we just execute you, and then when it comes back to you, we can just let you go. Okay, so we got a research encounter, we got Elrond and Vorici. Probably just going to be locking up Elrond. We need to whole intelligence, so we're going to execute Elrond, execute Vorici and see what happens here. Elrond removed from the Immortal Syndicate. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to interrogate him for 1 turn and then get that intelligence. Okay, so we got a fortification encounter, we got Hillock here, and Tora. Our absolute priority is Hillock. We're gonna upgrade them, and Tora we're just gonna let go. There's nothing interesting there. Okay, so now we've got a intervention encounter. We've got Gravicious, Hillock, and Verjean, and we're gonna go executing Verjean. I mean Gravicious, because now they are rank 3. That means we can start pumping the research in. We could actually just interrogate Verjean and Hillock, because the next time we come back to Hillock, he'll be, well, we'll be interrogating him again. Okay, so we got transportation. We've only got Janus. All prisoners set free. 38 intelligence from intervention. I think it's probably good. That's 24, and that's 14. So this is good. That means we can get everybody out. Okay, so it's intervention encounter. We've got Hillock and just for our members, or items of intervention members. Yeah, there's nothing for us here really. I can just take that. Okay, so we got a research encounter. We just got it that fled, but we get 14 research intelligence, so we're going to take that. Okay, so we got a fortification encounter here. We got Jorgen, it that fled, and Verjean. We want Verjean and Jorgen to level up, and we want it that fled to form some kind of rivalry between all of them. So actually, you know, Jorgen, so it that fled, and Jorgen actually have a rivalry. So let's execute Verjean and then check what it that fled do. +1 rank to research members, -1 rank to fortification members. Now that's good, provided that the rest of fortification are doing pretty well. And then, yeah, we don't want to do it if I'd lose all ranks. So, because I've done one of these before, and somebody had 1, and then they were stuck outside of, like, you know, they were stuck around here, and they had, you know, no house assigned to them. Oh, it was a pain in the butt. Okay, so +1 rank to research members, and -1 rank to fortification members. That means that Tora goes to 1, Jordan goes to 1. Yeah, everybody goes to 1, but that's okay. So we'll have that turn red. Nice. And then Jorgen. Jorgen moves to transportation. Janus moves to fortification. No, we don't want that. Okay, so we've got intervention. It's just Hillock on his own. We don't have much choice here. I'm just gonna drop a unique. Okay, so it's a research encounter. We've got the fled here. If the fled and Verjean become trusted, this is pretty good for us. We want to get these relationships going. So we're going to select that. For fortification intelligence. Okay, so we've got a fortification one here, and it's just Guff on his own. We don't want to do anything Guff because that's the worst. Okay, we've got an intervention one here. It's just Hillock on his own. So we're not going to swap Hillock and Guff. I think we'll be fine without that. Okay, so we've got a research encounter. Here's Jorgen and it that fled. Jorgen, we're actually going to have to level him up rather than doing anything else. Sadly. And a couple of currency items. Okay, so we've got a fortification here. It's just Tora on her own. We seem to have stopped just spawning people. So we're not going to remove all Syndicate rivalries. We're just going to let her go. Okay, so we've got an intervention here. We've got Vajan, Hillock, and Tora. Tora we want to level up because she is level 1. Hillock we also want to level up because he's level 2, and we need that for intervention. And Vajan we are going to interrogate for 30 intelligence. So we get to 87% on the intervention. So we've got a research here. We've got it that fled. They're only going to give us 14 research intelligence. There's nothing else we can really get out of this. We could imprison them, but that means we just have to wait a lot longer to level them up. And that's about it, everybody. Thanks so much for following along with this betrayal. You know, it started off from the bottom. Now we're here. Look at our board. We've got these 2 people in research. We've got 2 people in intervention. So many red lines, and it took us, I would say, about 50 missions, maybe 60 Jun missions. And we still have all of these points spec'd here for extra Jun missions. If you're doing a lot of Hamlet, then it just makes sense for this. Again, we use these watchstones just to speed along a bit. But I would guesstimate we made somewhere in the region of around 30 exalts just from these missions. And every 2 or 3 missions we do in the future, we're going to get probably 1 more safe house again. And we're going to rapidly cycle through those. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next one.